Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm with a 2024 Honda Passport. The Passport is slightly smaller than the Pilot. It is a 2-row instead of a 3-row, but it is otherwise much the same. Huge interior, lots of space, big cargo area, similar powertrains, all of that. They share a lot. This is a great vehicle. This particular one is the Trailsport. You can probably see that right here. I'll go over what that adds. It's mostly off-road stuff. So to get started, let's start with what's under there. 3.5 liter V6, 280 horsepower, 9-speed automatic, all-wheel drive is standard. So nice setup just to get going. This is a beautiful V6. Outputs in a nice broad band. 6-cylinder engines are wonderful for just everyday driving. They're very smooth, they're very predictable, and they put out a good amount of power when you need it, and otherwise don't. So wonderful design on that. I love V6 engines. I'm sorry to see them go. A lot of companies are just replacing them with turbo 4s, and it's just not the same. A turbocharged engine has a very fast peak and is very jumpy by comparison. So wonderful design on that setup. Now, with the Trailsport package, from the front you can see it changed this. You could probably see those knobby all-terrain tires. Those are part of that. The wheels are slightly smaller. Those are 18 inches. So most off-road tires will fit because of that. That's a great thing. It's pretty standard in the industry now. And there is suspension tuning for off-road, but there is not a lift on the suspension. Those tires add a slight amount of lift, but otherwise there is no lift on this. But you could probably see, and when I do the design, talk about design and show you the profile, you'll definitely see the good amount of ground clearance that this has. Decent off-roads all-wheel drive system. I would say that this is definitely good at light off-road, unpaved roads, light off-road kind of stuff, and pretty good at mid-range off-road. That's the sort of thing that you would do with competing vehicles like Subaru and stuff like that, where they're capable of going and climbing and going on some of those Jeep trails and stuff, as long as you don't need great amounts of clearance, but they're not rock climbers, things like that. So very good for that. Also, it's wintertime in Wyoming, and I did get to drive this in some snow, and it did really well. It was slushy snow, so it's the kind of snow where you tend to slide around a little bit, and where around here, the plow drivers don't bother coming out and moving it because it just creates ice, so it's kind of pointless. The cars shove it aside as they drive anyway, and this did a wonderful job of keeping grip. Those tires helped that a lot. So yeah, let's talk about design a little bit. So from that side profile, you can see here, it's pretty straightforward SUV. Honda design likes simplicity and straight panels, and that's pretty much what you're seeing here. So the hood has its bumps and curves, but there isn't a whole lot happening to really accentuate this fender. This is a pretty flat line. It's on an angle, but it's pretty flat, and that tall section right there kind of creates height for the front of the vehicle. It's totally unnecessary. The engine does not need that much space under there, but it does give a feeling of muscle without getting really egregious with the fenders on that. So, and then you see going across, there is a line right here that fades in right about there and runs all the way across to create this belt line here. And then there's a second belt line here created by this crease, which comes in right after the fender right there and runs all the way through the door handles and curves over that fender there. Then these are relatively flat. They are on a bit of a curve. There are some bone lines happening right in here, but for the most part, it's a flat surface. So you end up with a flat. There's not a whole lot of tumble home happening right here. So the whole thing is just kind of flat, making it tall. That kind of tall and flat look gives it the strength, the SUV look that they're aiming for. And then you can see there's a pretty decent gap between here and these grabbers are great all-terrain tires. Big and beefy, they're great tires. So what we're looking at mostly along here is just kind of a flat, tall profile with lines to create that forward movement, and that's about it. A little bit of a pinch to the back end of the roof, and then this Trailsport package, besides those tires and wheels, also adds functional roof rails here. This does not have the cross members installed, but you can see the slots where they slide in and fit. So all across, you can see the greenhouse is kept large, keeps it, again, that adds to the tall appeal of the vehicle, so it's just big. Great look, I really like it. It's a kind of a contemporary but often ignored option for designing an SUV. And then back here you can see tail lamps and everything finishes out really nicely done. I really do like this. I even like this color, and normally I hate these kind of bluish, gray, whatever colors. I really usually don't like them, but on this color in particular looks really good. So next up, let's look at the working end and then talk about the interior. So on the back, there is a pretty decent rake to this window right here, and then this spoiler sticks out a fair amount. This is a good look because it's matching what's happening in the front of the vehicle. So nicely done on there, and then you can see the stripe and the emblem there. The Trailsport is on there, Passport of course, but Trailsport you can see here. And then there is no tow kit on this, but there is towing as an option for this. It does have dual tailpipes, and they are functional dual tailpipes, but it is not dual pipes from the engine. It's a single pipe that splits off after the muffler for those. Back here, lots of space. So you got two different milk jug holders. You got a button that folds those seats down really quickly from here. A couple of grocery hook spots. And then you got this, which opens up storage down in there for whatever you need. And then I think you have to lift this out. Maybe not. I feel like you're supposed to. Yeah, there you go. When you open this up, there's your spare tire, filler funnel. This is a spot that should have a jack in it. Why is there no jack? Huh. Well, anyway, that's where the jack is supposed to be. I'm going to have to point that out when they come and pick this up. Nice cargo space. Really useful. Surprisingly useful. Tie-down hooks on each corner. And yeah, really useful cargo space. Back seats. So I am 6'3", sitting in this chair. I have 3 inches easy of headroom in here. These seats do move back and forth this way, and also you can do that, right? So there's plenty of adjustment back here. My feet will go under this seat to give me a better leg. This seat is for me at 6'3" up there. So a shorter driver would mean I would have even more leg room than this. Part of the Trailsport package is these sunshades that are built into the back windows. You have climate back here, USB plugs, a household outlet at 15 watts or 150 watts. Yeah. Just two drink holders per door, plus the thing that folds down in if there's nobody sitting in the middle. I've been driving an extra teenager to school this week, so there's 4 kids in this car plus me, and having no issues with space back here. So really nicely done. I actually really like this passenger space. Like I said, it's a huge interior. This is a very large interior. Nice to use. Also, I will point out that the latch system for your car seats for your kids in this are sunk into, so you'll have to put it in place and then shove. It's not like the European style where it's just a little plastic cover and you can stick it right in and it clicks quick. But that's a small complaint overall. Up here in front, I love the layout. Honda has a really good layout for their just controls. So you have extra buttons over here for the things that you're not going to use that often. You turn off the parking radars over here. You turn off the traction control, things like that. There are windshield wiper heaters in this model. They come on automatically when you turn on the front defrost, but you can manually turn them on right there. Mirror adjustments and so on. The big green economy button that Honda loves so much, I never use it, but you know, supposed to improve fuel economy, I guess. I don't know if it does. Anyway, nice layout in here. I like the screens. You can see everything that's going on. There is no like hunting to find what you're looking for. So nicely laid out. It's a good driver and a good feel for the driver too. So I really like the way this is set up. A couple of things that bother me. The driver assistance features like lane keeping and things like that, they get a little annoying in this. They are way too happy to warn you of things. And they'll do it persistently. In the end, I ended up turning off a lot of stuff just because I was like, this is highly annoying. I'm tired of it. The lane keeping is down here. That's the biggest culprit. The front collision is a little bit sensitive as well, but not nearly as bad. The lane keeping is really the worst one. Same with the backup radars when you're backing into a parking spot or something. It gets very, very edgy about how close you might be to the vehicles around you. Apparently, Honda doesn't know how tight parking lots tend to be, I guess. But anyway, overall, those are smaller complaints comparatively. I do like the infotainment, even though it is kind of outdated. It's just, the icons are too big and they're not very modern. But it runs really well. So the only complaint is just the way it looks. Otherwise, it's really great. So yeah, that's about what I've got for the interior without doing a full-on walkthrough in here. I am not a fan of the push button thing that Honda and Acura have done with the gear shifting down here. Not a big fan of that, but you do get used to it, so it's not a big deal. It just feels like it's saving no space. It's the same amount of space that just having a regular shifter would require. So it doesn't feel like it's accomplishing anything other than being different, I guess. All right, let's wrap this up. Okay, so that's about what I got. 2024 Honda Passport in the Trailsport package. Really nicely done. Overall, I love this thing. Couple of little details I don't like about some of the driver assistance stuff and so on, but overall, this is a great vehicle. I can't think of another vehicle in this class that has this kind of interior as far as the size and the roominess and usefulness go. So big kudos on that, Honda. Yeah, so if I was to buy this, I would definitely want this Trailsport package because I love these knobby tires and I like functional roof rails and I like the rubber floor mats. So yeah, that's about what I got. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.